to get going. Gotta catch those runners taking off like a Boeing. If the volume spikes, then it's time to trade. Mighty 90 setting up, it's time to get paid. Navigation trading on the mic, time to get focused. We don't need any indicator, hocus pocus. It's all about the price, just watch it move. Manage your risks so you don't lose. First hour of trading is all we need. Focus on the patience and forget about greed.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's day trading live stream, Monday, June 22nd. S&P futures up 5 points, NASDAQ up 130, Russell up 9, and the Dow's up 103. Looks like the NASDAQ is slightly the strongest of the four. Gold down almost 1%, silver up about 0.5%, notes and bonds a little bit red, 10-year yield up almost 1%. Oil down 2%, back in the 74 handle. Natural gas up almost 1%. Soybeans a little bit green. Wheat and corn a little bit red. Euro is down about 0.25%. Pound is up 0.33%. Those typically move together, but a little bit of divergence between the euro and the pound versus the U.S. dollar. And then Bitcoin is up 3.33%, back above 65,000. VIX a little bit of a expansion, a little bit of a not much of a Monday bump, but it is green. So I'm going to plan to do a 1 DTE iron condor at the open. I'm also going to do a 3-4 double calendar. I've also got a 3-4 that I held over from last week. So that's the June 26-29 cycle, where I closed half for a small profit, and then I've got half left, which I will transform. Looks like it could transform this morning. We'll see how the pricing looks when the market opens. As far as individual stocks go, we got chips and cryptos, strong pre-market. MU's up 5.5, SMCI's up 5.5, SNDK's up 4.5, Intel up 4, MSTR's up 3, TSM up 3, Circle up 2. On the red side, it looks like Roblox is down 6.5%. SpaceX is down 5%. Google's down 3%. Some of the Mag 7 are down. Amazon's down 2%. Tesla's red. Netflix is red. Microsoft red. So chips and cryptos strong. The two strongest. Opening bell here in about a minute. Looks like the expected range in SPX is going to be plus or minus right around $35. Looking at the indices, really, I'm going to be watching that kind of that previous day high zone. You got the NASDAQ already above its previous day high, S&P right under, Russell a little bit above. If we kind of reject that, I'll be looking for a little bit more of a short bias down to potentially previous day low. If we hold above it, my bias will be a little bit more bullish. And then, of course, focusing on stocks with relative strength or weakness. Got a full week of trading this week, my friends. Full week. Short week last week, short week next week, but full week this week. No scheduled econ reports today. I'm going to try to get my 3-4 filled right out of the gate here. Okay, I just posted my 3-4. My 1 DTE should fire here in about 30 seconds. S&P pushing above previous day high. NASDAQ still holding above its previous day high. Russell pushing up as well. I just have them on my watch list, Django. Then I have the net change and the mark percent change, and it shows the pre-market. All right, 1 DTE just fired. All right, just posted my 1 DTE Iron Condor. Russell's showing the most strength early. NASDAQ starting to dip a little bit. SMH coming down, some chips coming down, AVGO is in the red. NASDAQ getting a little rejecty. Little rejecty. Google pushing below previous day low. NVIDIA staying strong. NVIDIA and Apple. Tesla's trying to get above pre-market high. It's still a little bit red. NVIDIA acting very strong. Some of the chips trying to bounce a little bit. SMCI is still strong, up almost 10% now. Yeah, PLTR falling, down 2.5. Big banks are all up 1% or so. Cryptos are gapped up and they're pushing. MSTR's pushing. Coinbase pushing. S&P and NASDAQ trying to hold above. Looks like I'm close to being able to remove risk from my number 184 from last week that I held half of. But I'm going to give it a little bit. Give it a little time. Russell pushing through highs, S&P pushing back up, NASDAQ back up. Hood is strong. Yeah, all the cryptos are strong. MU popping back up, SNDK popping back up, SMH pop back up. Matt, I've been playing around with different things on 0DTE lately, actually. I'm typically my most common kind of is I'm typically like right out of the money or one strike out of the money on most of my day trades. But with 0DTE, I've been playing around a little bit using fixed premium. So I've been kind of targeting just whatever the $1 strike is. I've even some days I've used 50 cents. I'm just playing around with them to see how they just to watch how they move a little bit more. But so the answer is I do a lot of different variations on the 0DTE specifically, but my normal day trades is like one strike out of the money. I'm just kind of liking the cheaper 0DTE though. S&P new highs, NASDAQ new highs. NVIDIA, a little bit of a pause. Got a bounce in Amazon and Google, which started weak. Tesla's pushing green. Is this going to be one of those deals where if Tesla's up, SpaceX is down, SpaceX is down, Tesla's up? Elon just rotating money. Apple pushing up to previous day high. Thank you, Krish. Krish coming in with a hot take this morning. With the wrong ticker. SMCI still pushing up 11%. Amazon looking a little heavy. Keeps trying to bounce and getting pushed back down. Tesla dipping back in the red. The chips are just kind of whippy, a little bit choppy. MSTR couldn't hold above previous day high, but coin is really strong. Bitcoin above pre-market high. Hood is holding above previous day high. S&P and NASDAQ dipping a little bit. I'm going to put some 120 calls in MSTR on my watch list. If it reclaims this previous day high, might consider MSTR.
Autofilled.
NVIDIA pulling back. Q's dropping now. Watching MSTR. I'm going to take MSTR. Tesla popped back up. Got filled at 362. Crypto's just strong this morning. MSTR is not the strongest of the cryptos, so from a relative strength standpoint, it's not the greatest, and compared to Bitcoin. But I'm using that previous day high as a level. If these cryptos can all stay strong, I'm hoping MSTR can get a piece of that action. SPY back to previous day high. Q's dipped a little bit below. Russell pulling back a little bit. Tezzy pumping. I'll put in an order at 405 to get out of some MSTR if it pushes through highs of day. Russell's little dip getting bought back up. S&P and NASDAQ trying to bounce. Yeah, S&DK gave it up. AMD's holding. AVGO's weak. IWM already hitting new all-time highs this morning. Going for more. I took ARM off my watch list because it's a little too spready for options anyway. Microsoft, quick push up to previous day high above pre-market high and rejecting. Amazon and Google still heavy. Oh yeah, AMD held previous day high. It's taken off. Hood actually looks like a better option at previous day high. I wasn't looking at Hood. I kind of like Hood better than I do MSTR here. It's got better, stronger relative strength. Nice little couple retests of previous day high. Now it's coming back up. S&P popping back up. NASDAQ popping back up. Russell through highs. MSTR ticked a new high, but not quite enough. Looks like those options traded up to 385. I've got my order at 405. There's a new high. There's $4. One more little tick up should hit it. There's 405. No fill yet. Sitting on it. There's my fill. Now let's see if we can get really dirty nasty to the upside in cryptos. Dirty nasty. Hood, nice popping Hood. Anybody take Hood? That was a nice one. That's what I really should be in. S&P almost back up to highs. Put in another order at 460 to take some more off in MSTR. Bitcoin's up almost, or yeah, 4.25. There's 460. AMD still pumping. Apple and Tesla both kind of chopping right above previous day high.
Order filled.
Yeah, Amazon. I like this Amazon short here, and looks like it's about to work. SMCI up 14.5% now. SMCI leading the chips. AMD's up over 3. SpaceX down 8. If you didn't get in, now's your time. Lowest valuation you'll ever see. MSTR pulling back to previous day high now. Yeah, see how MSTR is pulling back and hood's still staying at highs. That's what I'd rather see. Bitcoin's still near highs. Yeah, there goes hood pushing again. IWM staying strong. Come on, cryptos. One more push. MSTR back to that previous day high, which is also pre-market high. Need to see it hold here. Hold and rip is what we're looking for. The old hold and rip. Yeah, I mean, it's also it's an area where sometimes I'll add back in after I've already scaled out of 2 profit targets. I started with 20 and I've only got 3 lots left. So I got out of 12, then I got out of 5. So I've only got 3 left, but I just don't like the lack of relative strength compared to Bitcoin or Hood or even Coinbase for that matter. So I'm just going to hold what I've got in MSTR. Russell making new highs. Tesla trying to reclaim previous day high. Tezzy might be ready to go for leg number 2. NVIDIA dip getting bought up. AMD flying at 4.5% now. Momentarily dipped into the red on that first 5-minute bar. It did AMD, and now it's at 4.5%. ABGO still super weak. Google and Amazon weak. Yeah, there goes Tesla through highs. Apple still holding. I got Circle and Coin popping back up. Hood still at highs, but MSTR still just kind of meh. The other thing I liked about MSTR, though, is looking at a daily chart. Last week we had that, I guess that was Thursday, we had that big flush of some previous key levels, and then we snapped up today. So it looked like we could potentially get a nice continuation up here, but got a couple profit targets. Still not done yet. Tesla's flying now. Anybody take Tesla? Probably would have considered it if I wasn't already in MSTR. MSTR starting to bounce. S&P about to go through highs. Russell still pushing. NASDAQ ticked a new high. Circle and Coin new highs. Come on. Come on, mister. Mister. Let's go. Your buddies are leaving without you. Meta had a big bounce back after being weak on that initial 5-minute bar. Bigger rip back up. Microsoft rejected pre-market high and previous day high, but it's trying to bounce back up. Amazon and Google still weak. Apple held. Now it's trying to get back up to highs. AMD starting to roll over. MU starting to bounce. SMH is just kind of choppy. MSTR, no continuation, coming back down. All right, I've got my order ready to cut my runners in MSTR if it doesn't bounce here. Basically right at my entry. Tesla got somewhere to be. Amazon new lows, Google new lows. That Amazon right off that, basically the overnight lows was a good level to get short on. Kind of flushed below it, retested it a couple times, now just bleeding. Cryptos, a little bit of rejection here. Hood, Bitcoin, Circle, Coin, all kind of pulling back. I'm going to go ahead and cut out of my last MSTR. Just don't like the lack of relative strength. And now Bitcoin's pulling back and it's definitely acting the weakest. So I'm out. Still a nice trade. Hit 2 profit targets. Who else wants to pay us today? Tesla, big volume on that push. Still going. That was the one right there. That was the one to take right around that previous day high. S&P and NASDAQ can't get any momentum going through highs, though. Now the Russell's kind of pulling back a little bit. I'll be back in 1 minute. SpaceX just kind of chopping below previous day low.
Order partially filled. Order filled. Order cancelled.
Tesla, another leg, up 3%. Apple has barely gotten back up to highs of day, just kind of sitting there. Wow, my 1 DTE iron Condor is already up 19%. Some nice little vol contraction going on. VIX is down 1.5%. NASDAQ new highs. Apple new high. SMH up to highs. MU's bouncing. SNDK big bounce. I mean, Tesla is just no pause, no chill. NVIDIA almost up to high. NVIDIA a little pause, rejection at highs of day. Yeah, SNDK. I don't think they. I think it happened so fast, Watson. They haven't had time to split yet. Like, they're they're still trying to file the paperwork, and it went from 400 to 2,300. That's crazy. Nvidia, kind of a decent little rejection there. S&P and Nasdaq pause. Man, Amazon and Google not having a good day. Crypto's still rejecting. SpaceX down 8%, about to go through lows. Could remove the risk on my 1 DTE and transform it into a upside vertical. Well, I'm going to wait for a little bit more. Let's see, that would put my max profit at about 75.70. So that's 50 points higher. The expected move between now and tomorrow's expiration is 51 points. Yeah, I'll just wait. Microsoft rejecting again. Google coming down hard. Same with Amazon. SpaceX, little droppy drop. The 3-4 double calendar is maybe slightly green. Definitely not printing quickly like we see sometimes with a 3-4. And then my one in the same expiration. Oh, excuse me. It's not the same expiration. My June 26, 29 that I held half of looked like it was in prime time to transform the half that I held right before the market opened, but it's not quite there. I think this little down move could help. far as day trades, I don't see anything else I'm really interested in getting involved in right now. Good quick cut in MSTR. It's still falling. Circle, big reversal. Bitcoin rolled over. Tesla and Apple still holding strong. AMD, big rollover. PLTR tried to go green for a half second. Big rollover, almost back down to lows. Seeing some weakness come in here across the board. Amazon down 3, Google down almost 5. SpaceX down 9. IWM starting to give it up. All right, I'm going to wrap the stream. There's a chance I take another day trade here. If I do, I will post in the trade channel. I'll watch here for the next 30, 45 minutes or so. Otherwise, maybe one and done. Nice trade in MSTR. We will be back for Power Hour Live at the end of the day. Everyone have a good Monday. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.